Hi everyone, welcome to my from scratch tasty kitchen. I am so excited about this recipe today. We're actually going to do several things today. I've got to clean my pantry. Please tell me, comment below that I am not the only one who has little children, mine are actually teenagers, who just throw things in the pantry. I'm like, guys. So I've got to reorganize today, and I'm also going to go through my spice cabinet and clean old spices out and make a list of things that I need for the upcoming baking season and Thanksgiving seasonings and all of that stuff. So a lot to do today, but we're going to have a little fun in the kitchen and feed our tummies first. I picked up some quail eggs at our local farmer's market, and I am so excited to try this new recipe. So I've heard about Scotch eggs. I don't think I've ever had any. So I was going through my recipes or on Google, I was like quail egg recipes, and so many different recipes came up for Scotch egg recipes. So I started digging around to see what I had in my refrigerator and in my pantry in order to do them, and I had pretty much everything that I needed, so we're gonna make these today. I'm waiting on my pot of water to boil, because to do them you have to have a soft boiled egg. So I'm gonna get the oil or the water boiling, and then I'll add a little bit of vinegar to it, and then I will slowly get the quail eggs into the water, set it off the burner, and let it sit for a minute, and then it'll go directly into, they will go directly into a cold water bath for I think maybe like 30 seconds, not very long. And then we will pull them out of that and peel them, and then I'll show you how to set it all up. So it's gonna be super fun. Okay, our water is boiling. I have washed the quail eggs, and then I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of vinegar. I have read that that will help with the shells. And then I'm gonna grab a little scoop here, set my water aside. I went back and looked at the several different recipes that I have looked at, and all of them said that the eggs need to cool in the ice bath for 10 minutes. So they're only going to be in this boiling water for 1 minute, and then in the ice bath for 10 minutes. Okay, then you take them off the water, and I'm gonna set a timer for 1 minute. Okay, now we're gonna get the breadcrumbs mixture mixed together. There's our eggs. I've got 2 cups of stale bread that I needed to get rid of, so I went ahead and put that in the food processor. You can totally use store-bought breadcrumbs. I would not get the Italian, I would get the plain, and then you can add the ingredients to them. If you only have Italian, go ahead and use them. It's not going to change the flavor of it that much at all. So I've got a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm going to do a couple of grinds of pepper. Well, a few. And then we're going to get a half a teaspoon of dried thyme. And with the dried herbs, I will put them in the palm of my hand and then just kind of just rub them to put them into whatever I'm putting them into, to kind of open up those flavors and just kind of wake them up a little bit. And then I'm gonna do a half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, and then a half a teaspoon of oh, this is a new bottle. A half a teaspoon of ground sage. Now, I do have sage and thyme in the garden, but because this is going to be fried, I just wanted to stick with all of the same consistencies. So, and getting into my sage seems to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so half a teaspoon of dried sage. And then I'm gonna do a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. It's laundry day at our house, and the laundry is going off. Okay, so once you get all of those the herbs and the spices in there, then you're gonna put, let's say just a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And once again, I have fresh, but just because this is going to be fried, I wanted to stay with everything being dried. And okay, that's about a 1/4 cup. So we're gonna put a 1/4 cup of that in there. And then I'm just going to take a fork and just mix all that real well. Okay, now I only buy ground pork. I don't buy breakfast sausage or chorizo or any of that. I just get bulk ground pork, and then I just add the seasonings to it. So for this next step, you need a pound of breakfast sausage. If you have breakfast sausage, then don't do this part. I'm just telling you how I flavored my pork, my ground pork, for breakfast sausage. So I added, it was a pound of pork, and I added a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of granulated garlic, a teaspoon, I've got to look at my spices, a teaspoon of ground sage, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a teaspoon of thyme. Did I tell you that? Dried thyme. I think that was everything, and half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, and then I just put all that in the ground pork and worked it just a little bit, not a lot, to make sure all those seasonings were in there. And then I put it in the refrigerator for an hour. It's been out on the counter just for maybe 15-20 minutes while I've been setting everything up. So now what we're gonna do to it is, at this point, if you have sausage already made, you're just gonna put your sausage in a container and then crack 1 egg into it. And then I like to just use a fork. Sometimes I will use my hands, but I just need to. Yeah, we're just gonna have to dig down deep and just get in there. You're just getting this to where the egg mixture is in your pork, and you could totally put this in your food processor and let your food processor do this. Either way. So you just want to get that egg worked in there really well. And then I'm going to let this sit while I peel the quail eggs. Okay, I cannot get the quail eggs peeled. So what's happening is I am getting them, and the peeling is coming off, but then the actual egg white stays. And then what happens is the egg yolk lands out. So I'm thinking that possibly I did not cook them long enough. So I'm going to real quick, I've got a few left. I'm going to real quick put them in some boiling water and do another minute, and then we're going to try again. Okay, I want to get the breading station set up. I've got my sausage divided. I've already done the 4 little yolks. I already wrapped them into little sausage balls, and then I'm just got them sitting in their first station. The second station is going to be an egg wash, and I've got 1 egg, and I've just got it blended up real well. And then I'm going to add just a teaspoon of hot sauce. Ours is our homemade hot sauce. Gavin and I did it together, and he said it was not spicy, but our fearless leader said it was good. So, so I'm just giving that a little flavor, giving the egg a little flavor. And then here's our breadcrumb mix. All right. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop out a cup of the breadcrumb mix, and set it aside. And that way, if we don't need it all, then I can just put it in a mason jar and put it in the refrigerator for in the next week when I'll need some breadcrumbs. Okay, so, a cup. Let me get a cup right here. Okay, so I've got a cup left in the pan. Gavin wants to say hi. No. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put you down so you can see how I do this. Okay. So I'm just going to just roll it. This is einkorn flour. You can use whatever all-purpose flour you have. I almost pulled out the spelt, but whichever you have. And then I'm just going to just lightly toss it in the egg yolk, and then put it in the breadcrumb. So just... leave me some, if you have ever done quail eggs before, leave me a comment and let me know how you peel yours, because they are so cute. I'll show you. I had one left in the pot. Well, I'll wait and show you. And I was able to peel it, and its yolk is what it should be after it cooks in the sausage, so I couldn't put it in a sausage patty. Okay, now I'm going to move this over so you can see this closer. So then I just, in the spot that they're in, I just kind of pick up with some breadcrumbs. See how I kind of scoop up and then just kind of toss them in those breadcrumbs. So you're not having to move the sausage with that soft-boiled egg very much. Okay? And then I will just let these sit, make sure they're good and coated, and then I will just let those sit. I'm barely picking them up, barely tossing them in the breadcrumbs. Okay, we will be back. Okay, I just peeled one, and it is a little bit better than the other. So we're gonna try this. I've got I divided my sausage out into 12 patties, and so then I'm going to kind of make a round patty. Then you put the egg in the middle of it, and then you just bring that sausage up around the egg, and just very carefully, and it kind of seals. And then I like, if I'm making a roll, to get a seal. So that's simple. And then you just put in your batter Okay, so I got the other 3 peeled. So I'm doing the same thing, and it was kind of hard. So if you guys know how, if you have experience with quail eggs and doing a soft boil, how do you peel them? Leave that for me in the comments, because I will for sure try this again. I feel like it's going to be delicious, but I feel like cooking them just a little bit longer is going to make the yolk not what it should be. So I would love you to share your tips with me. So again, you just divide your 1 pound of sausage into 12 patties, or how many ever quail eggs you have. And you could also do this with smaller chicken eggs. You may have to do 2 pounds of sausage, but I think it would be good. Now, over on the stove, I have my oil heating up, so that once we get these done, we can start frying them. You could also bake these or do the air fryer. I just wanted to try the traditional way this first time. I may even take a couple and do in the air fryer. Okay. Then we'll just move the stations back over. We're just doing the egg and the breadcrumb. Let me get a plate here. And I'm going to put these ones that we've done in the breadcrumb on the plate. And then that way we'll have room. If you were doing 12, I would say that you would for sure need the 2 cups of breadcrumbs. Let's see though, we may still need it. Okay, I'm just going to lightly toss it in that egg and then sit it down on the breadcrumb. The 1 egg is the perfect amount because you're not doing very much with the egg. And I probably put a little bit too much einkorn. I did. Okay, last one. So then let me show you. And just take and just kind of in its spot, so I'm not having to handle it a lot. Just kind of roll it. And I am going to do I don't know, I feel like I have enough. Just have to move them out of the way. I tell you what, once I get one good and coated, I'm going to move it back to that plate, and then I'll have room. So that way I don't waste my breadcrumbs, because I will certainly need them again sometime this week. Okay, so then just roll them around real gently. In the breadcrumb. Okay. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we will start frying. Okay, I had my oil heated up to about 180, 200. I'm using an avocado oil with a little bit of beef tallow. And as you can see, they're not totally submerged in the oil, so I am flipping them halfway. I'm doing it for 5 minutes. So 250 on one side and 250 on the other. And these are ready to come out. I'm just using a slotted spoon and just kind of loosing them. And then I have a plate lined with a paper towel that I'm going to put them on. And then this one, I don't know if you can see, the egg kind of popped out of it. So we'll see what that looks like. I am totally doing something new that I have never done before on live TV. But I thought it would be fun. Okay, so here's the next one, and I'm gonna just use my slotted spoon and carefully put it down in there. And I'm only doing 2 at a time in my pan, so that I don't overcrowd the pan. And then we'll see how that goes. Okay, so it seems to be working out pretty well, other than the little bit of the the egg popped out. But I know that the kids are gonna love just the sausage part, so hopefully they will like the egg part too. I think I'm gonna do a little mayo with sriracha sauce to dip them in. I think that would be yummy. And so basically all I do for that is I just do like a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, and then I just kind of stir in sriracha till it's like a pink color, and then we dip with that. Maddie is going to be coming, and she is wanting waffles. So we're going to do some apple cinnamon waffles. So basically what I did just then is I just kind of loosened it in the pan just so that it wouldn't stick. And then I want to check the temperature of my oil too. That might have been the problem with the first one. Yeah, my oil might have been a little too hot for that first one. We'll see. It's fun to just try new things and experiment in the kitchen. As you can see, it didn't go smoothly today in all parts, but it's still going to be wonderful and delicious. So, okay, that was totally it. So, I don't know if you can see, but see how the little egg popped out here? And then there was just a little bit of it left. It is delicious. That spice of the hot sauce that we put in the egg comes through wonderfully. So if you do not want it spicy, do not add hot sauce to your egg, because it does have a kick to it, but it's delicious. It really is, and it's crunchy. And because of the seasonings in the bread crumb mix match the seasonings in the sausage, you get all of those flavors so well. It's really, really good. It might even be good to dip in some maple syrup too. Okay, I was just letting these cook just a little bit. Oh, look, it happened again. I guess it's just gonna take some practice, but I'm gonna do these again. I have had so much fun with them, and I think the bigger the sausage, the longer you need to leave them in. That first one that I tried was not as big as those two that I just put in. So I'm going to do 5 minutes, but I'm going to kind of judge. because I'm going to kind of judge the color of them. They're coming out a good color. Also, keep your thermometer handy so that you can make sure that your oil is staying at 180. I don't have a gas stove, so the electric stoves sometimes can get hotter than you think they are. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to keep going, and I'm going to get Maddie in here to do some apple cinnamon waffles. Okay, while Maddie is getting the waffle mix ready, I remembered that at my last trip to Costco, they had a bourbon maple syrup. And so I'm going to pour a little bit over this Scotch egg. And let's just see what it tastes like. It's full, so I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to pour very slowly. Okay, so I just did a few little drops. You can see the shiny. Yes. So, these will be perfect for the apple cinnamon waffles. Because if you get a little syrup on there, it is not going to be a problem at all. It actually kind of balances out the spicy in the hot sauce. Y'all, you have got to try these. I will write in the description box below, I will write what I did. I collaborated from a lot of different recipes, so I don't have one that I can go to. They all basically said that for frying for about 5, I think one even said 8 minutes. So I think it depends on the size of your sausage patty. But for sure, definitely try these. They are so yummy. Okay, Maddie's over there. All right, I wanted to show you, I cut this open so you could see. This was one with just the egg yolk. So not very much of the egg white, and it kind of popped out. But they're turning out great, so I'm very pleased. Like I said, I think the egg yolk got a little too cooked, but it's okay. No one's gonna judge. It's gonna be delicious. All right, Maddie is getting her station set up. I've got the last 2 in the oil, so let me bring you over to her. She is going to be making apple cinnamon waffles, and she has asked me to be her sous chef on the apples, so I'm going to get going on those. She's getting all of her ingredients together, and she will tell you. Yeah, that's right. Now do it, and I'll cut that out. I swear.
Okay, we're making apple spice waffles. This is the 5th time we've had to record this. Okay, apple spice waffles. First, you need a cup of flour. Half a cup of flour.
Half a cup of flour?
Yeah.
Oh, 1.5 cups of flour?
Yeah. I said it fine. And I
did?
But look, see, I have a cup and a half cup, so they know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have to do 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Now half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon?
Of salt. Yeah, half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay. Then 3 eggs. I have this fancy looking egg. Ooh. Fancy. Okay. We're gonna move it down for a second. There you go. Now you can see the bowl a little bit. Okay. Three eggs, then 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Half a teaspoon of pure vanilla. Open the jar of vanilla. Okay. We're gonna add another. Woo. Okay, now we need.
Did you put your teaspoon of pumpkin spice in there?
Not yet. A cup and 1/4 of milk. Wrong side. I need the cup side, not the milliliters. Okay.
Okay, and here's
Cup and
half your
full
cup of apples.
Okay. Now, before we put the pumpkin spice and apples in, we gotta put the syrup in.
How much do you do?
Well, we don't have anything left in here, so I'm putting the last little glop of syrup in there.
Okay.
See? Look at that. That's
But if they want to make it at
Not a
home,
lot.
how much do they put?
as much as you want. That's what I do. I normally just kind of put it in there and then pull it back out. I
Maddie.
need to mix this.
Maddie and I are not good at following directions when it comes to recipes.
No, we make it our own. We're not supposed to follow it. Okay, half
Okay.
a cup of apples. Can I put it in this?
Yes, but what I was going to tell you, if you'll just get a little bit of your flour and put on the apple and kind of pour it in,
Okay.
then that way the apples won't sink to the bottom.
And then how much of this?
A teaspoon of the pumpkin spice.
There's a lot of teaspoons in this. Okay, we're just gonna take the lid off because I can't do that. Okay, now we're gonna mix it. These are chunky.
You need to clear it for you?
No, I got it. Just apples.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta check because sometimes I have chunks of flour in there.
Oh.
And that's kind of funny when you bite into one, it's a chunk of flour. Or a chunk of butter. I've had that happen before. Okay.
Did you need the spray for your waffle maker?
Oh, I forgot the spray.
I'll get it.
Yeah, I need spray. Look, we got this burning my hands. Tiny little waffle maker. Ooh. Whoa.
Here you go.
Thank you. Okay. Dang it, I'm gonna need a spoon. Ooh, later.
I just thought about something. Our food, because of Maddie's waffle maker, our food is almost like finger size, so we can make our plates and go watch some football and have finger foods for afternoon football. Okay, y'all, here we go. Just a little scoop, and then you wait.
2 minutes.
Okay, she pulled that one out, and I wanted to show you how the apple, it's the perfect little square to fit inside the waffle squares. Delicious, y'all, delicious. Okay, we just pulled out another one. Here is our pretty breakfast plate. I'm gonna add some butter and syrup to mine. The kids just like syrup on their waffles. But we are going to say, where'd she go? We're gonna say goodbye. Happy cooking. Try these recipes, so much fun. Nothing? You got nothing?
It took me 5 times a video.
Bye, y'all. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for liking this video and leave us a comment. We'll see you on the next one.